Today I'll lead you through a stress buster yoga practice. We're going to focus on steady breathing, steady movements, and grounding ourselves. And hopefully this will help us find a balanced place with our stress. Let's get started. For this practice, a bolster or a couple of blocks would be handy props because we are going to start in a supported back bend. So something that you can use under your back for a supported back bend. And other than that, we don't need any props. And then we're going to start with that supported back bend. So get your mat, your props ready, and then when you have it all set up, bring your bolster or your blocks behind the back so that you could leave your pelvis on the mat and then lean onto that support, finding a gentle back bend. And you can leave your knees bent, knees pointing up towards the ceiling, or you might opt for a butterfly shape in the legs. You might have soles of the feet together, or you might flex your ankles so that just your heels are touching and find your butterfly shape. If you want, you might bring arms out to the sides, or you might even bring arms overhead. And if it feels good, you might let yourself find a slightly more intense supported back bend. Just inviting that awareness down to the body through those slightly stronger physical sensations. And once you have found your shape and your supported back bend, invite your awareness to your breath as well. You could give yourself a few slightly slower, slightly longer breaths in and out. And as you let your breath calm down, start to observe the rhythm of your own breath, counting the length of each breath in and counting the length of each breath out. And stay with that rhythm for another 3 to 5 breaths. If you need to adjust your pose, feel free to adjust the shape, but stay with your breath. After your 3 to 5 breaths, if you have your legs in a butterfly shape, slowly start to close the hips. And then walk your feet towards the edges of the mat and lean your knees, your thighs inwards. So now rotating your hips the opposite way. And just take a couple of breaths there. If you have arms overhead, you can start to bring your arms Hands lower down next to your sides. Let's take one more slower, deeper breath here, in and out. You can let out a sigh. And then find your feet to roughly hip width apart. As you exhale, reach hands towards the knees, lift your head off the props and start to roll yourself up into a seat. And you can hug your knees round the back. Send a couple of breaths towards the back side of the body, just acknowledging that space that you have for your breaths on the back side. And then we'll bring our back, our neck, our head up, and we're going to open legs into a cross-legged seat. You can move your bolster aside and bring your hands in front of you on the mat. And just for a couple of breaths, really ground, spread your palms, fingers onto the mat. Feeling that connection between your palms and the mat. And then we're going to move the hands, giving some gentle stretching for the wrists. Now turn your fingers out to the sides, grounding through the palms. Notice how that feels in your wrists, in your arms. Then breathe in and out. Turn your fingers towards your legs, opening the inner wrists away from your legs. And again, grounding down through your palms, your fingers. Notice how that stretch feels in the wrists. Breathe in and out. And again, turn your fingers out to the sides. Pause there to breathe. Gently pressing down through the hands. See if you can feel that connection all the way in your shoulders. And then breathe in and out. Again, turn fingers towards the top of the mat. Spreading the palms, grounding through the hands. From here, now we're going to start twisting, moving the arms. Leave right hand on the mat. As you inhale, circle your left arm up, twisting out to the left. As you exhale, circle that left hand back onto the mat. Same to the other side. Press down through the left hand. Inhale, circle right arm up, twisting out to the right. Exhale, circle that right hand back down. Another few rounds. Inhale, left arm circling up, twisting to the left. Exhale, bring that left hand back down. Inhale, right arm circling up, twisting to the right. Exhale, circle the right hand back down. One more time to each side. Pressing down through right hand. Inhale, circle the left arm up and twisting to the left. Exhaling, hand comes back down. One more time to the right. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, bring that right hand back down. From here, lean onto your hands, lift yourself onto all fours. Bring yourself onto hands and knees. We're going to go into the melting heart. So leave your hips roughly under your hips on top of the knees. And then start to walk hands a bit further forward. As you exhale, lower your elbows to the mat. Bring hands to the opposite elbow And then exhale, continue lowering your chest, your head down towards the mat. You might lean your forehead onto your arms, or you might bring your head all the way down onto the mat. Now focus on grounding down through the chest. It's very likely that the chest is not touching the mat. That's very fine. But just having that feeling of your chest slowly, breath by breath, grounding down. Breathing. Couple more times in and out. And then with your next in-breath, keeping arms as they are. Now inhale, start to round the back and shift the weight forward onto your elbows. From here we go into a Sphinx pose. So now lower your pelvis down, lengthen the legs behind you, open your chest forward. Now feel the fronts of the legs, feel the pelvis grounding down, not pushing, but just feeling that connection. You can gently press the shoulders away from the ears, open the chest. Take another breath here, in and out. You can let that breath fill your chest, fill the ribs. And then we're going to turn palms onto the mat. And we're going to lift the pelvis up so we find ourselves on knees and elbows again. We're going to go into dolphin pose. Tuck the toes under. Breathe in and out. Lift your pelvis up and adjust your feet. Find a place where you can now ground down through your forearms. And you might bend the knees. That might give more space to reach the pelvis up and back. Breathing here. If having palms on the mat doesn't feel good in the shoulders, you can always interlace fingers. So you might bring hands together, make a triangle with your forearms. Head can drop down. Take another breath or two here, in and out. And then slowly, with your next couple of breaths, bring your knees back down onto the mat. Lift yourself up onto your hands. And then we're going to step the right foot forward to hands and bring our legs into warrior one. So now extend your left leg, turn the left foot onto the mat. Once you feel you have both feet grounded, lift your back up. Bring arms up overhead. You might still need to adjust your feet. And now let your weight drop down onto both feet. So feeling that connection through your feet onto the mat, onto the ground. We'll start to move the upper body together with the breath. As you exhale, open arms sideways down. You can open the chest. As you inhale, reach your arms forward. You can reach your back forward, lifting up towards the ceiling. Exhale, open arms sideways down again. 2 more times. With your in-breath, reaching forward and up. Exhale, open the arms, feeling that support through the feet, through the legs. 1 more round. On top of that support, you have freedom to move your upper body. Then reach arms in front of you. And now eagle arms, cross your left arm on top of the right and either reach hands for the opposite shoulder or you can twist the forearms around each other. We're going to lean forward into warrior 3. Slowly shift the weight onto your right foot. And once you've found your weight onto the right foot, start to lean, tilt your back forward, left leg flying up behind you. Standing leg could still be slightly bent. And breathing here. Feel that connection from your right heel all the way up to the right hip. Take another slow, steady breath here in and out. And then with your next breath, slowly bring yourself up onto 2 feet, lifting the back up. Keep the eagle arms going. Inhale, continue opening your chest up towards the ceiling. Finding a small back bend. And then exhale, slowly release. Come back to center. Release the arms. Bring hands together behind the pelvis. And from here, as you inhale, lift up the chest again. Now arms sinking down behind you. Where can you find space for the breaths? Feeling that connection through the heels to your pelvis. And exhale, release your arms. You can bring palms together. Take a couple of breaths in your mountain pose. Feeling your weight on 2 feet. Pelvis, spine on top of the legs. And then we're going to go into those warriors on the other side. So now we're going to leave the left leg at the top of the mat. Step your right foot back. Give yourself a moment to find those warrior 1 feet. And then lengthen arms up overhead. Again, feel the weight on 2 feet. At the center, front knee bent, back leg extended. We'll start to move the upper body. Exhale, open the arms sideways down. As you inhale, reach forward. You can move your back. Opening the chest. Exhale again, arms come sideways down. With your own breath, inhaling forward and up, exhaling sideways down, grounding down through the feet. Let's do 2 more rounds, following that rhythm of your own breath, and let the breath guide you. 1 more round. And after that last round, bring arms in front of you. Eagle arms. So now cross your right arm on top. Either reach for the opposite shoulders or twist the forearms around each other, reaching palms towards each other. We go into warrior 3. Shifting the weight slowly, slowly onto the left foot. And then once you're there, start to slowly lift the right leg up behind you. Reaching your back forward, finding your edge. And the side might be different. Let the exhalations ground you down. Take one more breath in and out. And then slowly start to lift yourself back up into mountain. Bring both feet down, keeping arms in that eagle. Again, start to lift your chest up, finding that subtle back bend. Breathing there, heels grounding down. And then exhale, slowly release, come back to center. And now bring arms behind the back and hands together. This time, see if we could turn palms away from the head. So almost showing palms towards the back of the mat. And then open the chest up towards the ceiling. That small, small, subtle back bend. Pressing down through the heels. Breathing. And inhale, lift yourself up to center. Leave arms as they are. Exhale, fold forward. Full forward bend. And you can either extend the arms away from the back, or you can leave hands onto your lower back. And you can choose if you keep turning your palms away from your back, or if you want to bring hands into that big fist, turning palms towards each other. See how you feel in the shoulders. If there's any pain, just keep hands on your lower back. Breathing here in and out, keeping front of the legs engaged. Let your heavy head drop down. Take another breath in and out. And then staying in that forward bend, first bring hands onto your lower back. Then slide your hands onto the mat and walk into a downward facing dog. So you can move your hands, you can move your feet where you can find your downward dog, that reaching up and back through the pelvis. Keep grounding down through the palms. Feeling that connection through the hands, arms, to your shoulders, to your back, to your hips. And now you can choose to either stay in a longer downward dog, or you can come down into child's pose. Or we could add 5 tiger push-ups here if you feel that you want to move. At any point, you can pause and come down into child's pose. For tiger push-ups from downward dog, start to bend the elbows and bring your chest close to the mat. Then open your chest, almost like an upward dog, keeping toes tucked under. And then lift the pelvis back up, so toes stay tucked under. Second one, bending the elbows, sliding the chest down and then opening the chest. You can look up and then reaching pelvis back. With your breath, exhale, bending the elbows, opening the chest. Inhale, reaching the pelvis back up. We can do 2 more. Exhale, bending the elbows, opening the chest. Inhale, reaching the pelvis back up. We could do one last round. Exhaling down and into the back bend. Inhaling into downward dog. And then from that downward dog, we're going to come down into child's pose. So release your knees down, round the back, leaning pelvis towards your feet. Head can come down, or you can bring hands under the head. You might bring arms next to your legs if that feels good. Notice your breath. Let the pace, let the rhythm of your breath calm down after those tiger push-ups. Take a couple more breaths in your child's pose. And then after those couple of breaths, you can bring yourself back onto hands and knees. And from here, we're going to come into a seat. So this could be any easy seat, maybe sitting in a cross-legged pose, or you might sit in a butterfly shape as well if that feels better. And from here, we're going to go into some side bends. So once you have found your seat, slide your left hand on the mat over to the left side. And as you inhale, reach your right arm up. Exhale, bend just a bit further over to the left. If you want, you can bend your right arm so that your right hand is behind the head. You might slide your left hand further. You might even bring your left elbow onto the mat. Send a couple more breaths towards the right side body. And then with your next breath, slowly lift yourself back up to center. Release that right arm. You can roll the shoulders. Same to the other side. If you sit your legs crossed, you might change that crossing, change legs the other way around. Slide your right hand out to the right side. As you inhale, lengthen up through the left arm. And exhale, start to bend over to the right. You might reach that left arm over. You might bend your left elbow so the left hand is behind the head. And again, as you're breathing in, breathing out, you might slide further, deeper into that side bend. You might even bring right elbow onto the mat. Take a couple more breaths in and out here. And then with your next breath, slowly lift yourself back to center. Release your hand, release your arm down. You can roll the shoulders. And then we're going to give some gentle movement for the neck. If you need to adjust your seat, feel free to adjust your seat so that you can stay grounded. And then with your next exhalation, bring your right ear towards the right shoulder. Inhale there. Exhale, gently roll your head down and forward and all the way to the left side. So left ear towards the left shoulder. Inhale there. Exhale, roll your head forward and towards the right shoulder. And inhale there. Exhale towards the left side. We'll continue this another few rounds, following your own breath. You might move your shoulders, you might move your upper back as well, together with the head. One more time, visiting the right side, visiting the left side, just so that we've been on both sides the same amount of times. And then after those movements, bring your chin towards the chest, bring your head to center. And with a slightly bigger breath in, lift your neck, your head up. And now lift your chin up towards the ceiling. You can open your eyes. And then release your head back to center. And just take a breath in and out. Next, we're going to come lie down on the back. If you have some props there that you want to bring under your legs for Shavasana pose, you can bring a bolster under the legs. You might bring blocks under the legs. You might bring support under the neck or head if that helps. Give yourself a moment to find your resting pose, and if you feel that you need to move on your way into that Shavasana pose, feel free to swing the legs from side to side or hug the knees in. You might also leave your knees bent in this resting pose if that feels better for your hips, for your back. Once you have found your way to lie down, bring one hand onto your belly. Bring the other hand somewhere where you can feel your ribs. Let the elbows still rest on the mat, on the floor. You might close your eyes. Then invite your full awareness back to your breath. Let yourself feel your breaths with your hands. And invite your awareness back to that rhythm. That slow, steady rhythm in your own breath. can let yourself count the length of each breath in, the length of each breath out, if that helps. It's very optional. Whatever you feel helps you now to stay with your breath, allowing your mind to rest in observing the breath. Give yourself another 5 to 10 breaths in your resting pose. If you want to release your hands and arms onto the mat, onto the floor, feel free to do that. Either after your 5 to 10 breaths, or when you feel ready to start slowly waking up your body, give yourself a couple of bigger, deeper breaths in and out. You might let out a sigh. From lying down on the back, slowly roll down onto one side. It could be the left or it could be the right side, which one feels more natural to you now. And then in your own time, bring yourself up into your final seat. And this could be any easy pose, easy seat for your body. Where could you give yourself a few more breaths to slowly close the practice? If it's a part of your practice, you can bring your palms together in front of the chest. And as always, at the end of the practice, most importantly, thank yourself for taking this time to move, to breathe, to look after yourself. And I hope that you can continue your day with kindness and compassion towards yourself. Thank you for joining in. Namaste. Thank you.